StockPulse.com, on location, the second annual StockPulse Silver Symposium. Got Robert Kientz here from Gold Silver Pros. And Robert, I appreciate you taking the time and making the trip. You've been a really big part of the show, so I can't thank you enough. And I guess I want to peel right into your brain right now. And let's get the 36,000 foot view here of not only the conference vibe, but maybe how the metals are looking.
I think conference is doing very well. I think people are starting to come back to conferences. You see a lot of interest. We're in a very energetic and loud room with all the metals companies that are here. Lots of investors, lots of interest. Just came off of the social media panel. We had a full room talking to all the social media influencers that are here at StockPulse, which I know is a big part of the program. And thank you for inviting me. I love doing this every year. It's been an absolute pleasure. Appreciate you guys providing this conference for people here in the States that don't have to go outside the country, and allows us a place to chat and get to know each other. People I haven't seen here in a year or two, due to COVID, which has been really nice to catch up with them.
Yeah, a big part of the business here. I think the intimacy, and it's really a tight-knit group here, and I think we all believe the same thing. It's not if, it's when. So right now we can look at the metals prices. I guess let's do it. Obviously we're in late August, volumes are off. Yeah. How do you see things going?
Well, August is sell in May and go away, and that's never more true than the precious metals market. It typically is not going to pick back up until investors come back in the market in the fall, and because it's such a small market compared to other markets, it tends to get bid out, in the fall, and it's not going to get the flows in the summer that you get with the bond markets and things. Plus what happens in the fall is you get the love trade, so you get India and China incorporating, gold and silver into their various ceremonies and in dowries and things like that. So we typically see the precious metals prices rise. I think they're down right now, but given the geopolitical situation, I think, medium to long term, I'm very bullish on the metals. That was actually the subject of my talk this morning, is how this time's a little bit different from previous cycles. I do think that we're going to get a nice boost here. And I think the people are buying in now are in many ways, especially on the leveraged side, on the equity side, are getting really cheap deals because the equity side is really cheap historically speaking.
Yeah, and of course your chats will be captured on video and on the site. Let's talk about the big word for me, the O word, opportunity. And I think that's what this is. You just kind of painted a picture of opportunity. So I guess guide investors here, maybe what they should do to take advantage of that opportunity.
I think there's a tremendous opportunity in silver. I think it may be the most asymmetric trade that I've looked at from a fundamental and a technical perspective, though that trade's going to take a little while to happen. Silver usually rises after gold. One of the parts of my talk this morning was that gold is slowly moving up the wall of worry, and that ratio is moving up because of what's going on in the world. Silver typically launches when some event has been realized. So if we see a bank failure, we see another hot war, something like that go on in the world like we saw with Ukraine, then silver will respond. So this is an opportunity, I think, for people to get in on the metals and to buy them at what I think are really low valuations. If you look at silver specifically, it's cheaper right now this morning as we're recording this than it is from every primary silver mine that I know to get it out of the ground. So we're in a revenue deficit for the miners. That's got to correct. There's not enough silver in the world. We've been short 4 years in a row, Rob, as you know, according to Metals Focus and Silver Institute, for the amount of silver that's coming out of the ground for what we're actually using. So eventually that's got to break, and that's the asymmetric part of the trade. I also think a lot of the exhibitors you have here in the gold and silver trade, that's the leverage bet. And if you really want to get into the gold and silver and have the chance to make some serious money, you can get into the mining stocks. Right now, the GDX and the Huey indexes, all-time low valuations to the S&P. That always flips over time. People are going to come in, the generalists will come in to the stocks, and then you're going to see tremendous valuations. We just got through doing an interview with Canada Silver Cobalt, one of the high-quality companies that are here. They had one drill hole of like 89,000 grams per ton silver, which is, you don't see that anymore, and nobody in the market knows them because they haven't done their feasibility studies. Well, when that comes out, people are going to rush into that. So there are opportunities here that you can find, asymmetric bets in the equity space, I think people really need to be paying attention to.
Yeah, so I guess let's talk about the future a little bit here. I know timing, I can't pin you on that, but you just mentioned all kinds of catalysts that could, in any given day, I always say if the wind blows right, one day it happens. Are we that close, do you think, or do we got a little more pain to endure?
I think there's a little bit more pain because people want to know what the Fed's going to do. The big question on the Fed side, which drives a lot of the asset markets and allocations and dollars and where people are positioning, are they going to pivot or are they not going to pivot? Are they going to hit their 4% rate this year, I think, as they want? or is the market going to feel pain and they're going to either have to stop the rate increases and the tightening or actually pivot and go back to easing conditions? That's going to drive people moving into the market. And I think right now people are sort of waiting on that other shoe to drop on what the Fed's going to do in the next couple of months. What could force the Fed's hand is if we continue to see deflationary forces in the economy. China's economy right now is not doing so well. We're having some deflationary pressures here in the United States as well. I think we're officially in a recession. 2 straight quarters of negative GDP growth. Even though the White House doesn't want us to say it, that's a recession. So that's going to drive a lot of demand. I don't think we're that far from it, Rob. I think we're pretty close, but I do think people are waiting to see what the Fed is going to do. So I may give it a couple of months in the fall and see, are they really going to pivot? Are they going to continue quantitative tightening? I think either case is probably bullish for the metals, but what would be more bullish immediate is if they reverse course, because that I think would be a signal to the market. It's risk and they have to ease, and so people are going to start looking at the metals. If they continue to tighten, I think what we do there is we wait for that stress to show up in the bond and stock markets, and that may be early next year, maybe springtime, before we see that really big pop in the metals.
A lot to take in here and process. People need a pro, gold and silver pros. Tell them about your model.
Yeah, so we're basically a free education service. I don't charge for anything in terms of our information. We do get sponsored from time to time, companies in the space. We do have partnerships, but we try to promote information for free. And I did this start in 2018 when I saw what was coming in the banking system and the currency system. I thought, you know what? I need to get out there and educate people. So you can just come to our channels. We got free information. We partner with guys like you to spread the word. You guys are doing an awesome job here at this conference. You're leading off conference season really with a home run, I think. There's so much interest in this space right now. So I'm so happy to be a part of that and to be a partnership with you guys.
Well, we appreciate you.
Yeah.
Robert Kientz, Gold Silver Pros, thanks for your time.
Thank you very much.